As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Habiballah, as-salatu wassalamu alayka ya rahmatan lil alameen wa ala alika wa sahabika ya shafi al-muznabeen. Honorable guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. First of all, let me pay gratitude to University of Punjab, Muslim Institute, GC University for organizing this conference and giving me honor to share my views. Ladies and gentlemen, the subject on which I am going to speak is about the objectivity of ethical norms in the teachings of the two great Sufis, Mevlana Rumi and Hadrat Sultan Bahoo. It is a reality that the Muslim civilization lays its foundation on the objective reality, which is divine truth. Like many other domains, the ethical norms emerge from within one's inner being. As said previously, the inner heart. However, this inner reality is not subjective in nature, as often misunderstood by Western scholars, especially in the postmodern time. This reality is objective in nature, but it manifests in a subjective way. This fact can easily be understood by simply looking at the teaching of Sufis in the Muslim world, whom have lived their life in different regions and times. Even many of them did not have formal contact with each other's ideas and teachings, and yet their teachings echoed in the same way. They all talked about same reality, especially the ethical norms described by them, and are well synchronized. The postmodern man wonders how would this be possible. The simple answer is that Sufis get themselves synchronized with the divine attribute and the universal divine color manifests from them. This philosophy is described in the glorious Quran. Say that we have taken on the color from Allah's own color, and whose color is better than Allah's, and we worship Him alone. Such synchronization enables Sufis to adopt the ethical norms that manifests upon them from the court of Allah Almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, ethics and morality have central position in Sufi teachings. Mevlana Rumi says, human being attain color attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when reaches to status of mortality. Same like iron after burning in fire attains characteristics of fire, even being originally iron. Hadrat Sultan Bahoo Rahmatullah Alayhi says, pure blue color does not accept yellowish green hue. Khalis neel prane utte nahi chadda rang majethi hue. That means the yellowish green color can never affect upon the true blue color. The true color of divine truth would not let any other influence it or settle over it. He further states, so hazar tanatu sadke jede muna bolan phikka hu. 100,000 sacrifice upon those who don't utter stinging hu. Thousands of thousands sacrifices upon those who only say one thing hu. Billions of sacrifices upon those upon their nafs they tread who. Trillions and trillions of sacrifices upon those who are pure gold but they call themselves lead who. Mevlana Rumi alayhi rahmah states, good morals are characteristics of humanity. An immoral person is just as an animal. Sufis adopt the ethical norms and morality that manifests upon them in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and in the court of exalted Prophet Muhammad, blessing and salutations be upon them. As Hadrat Sultan al-Arifin, Hadrat Sultan Bahoo describes the harmonization with the trait of exalted Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as of highest values, and mentions in his book Lead al-Tawheed, the key to monotheism, and I quote, entering Majlis-e Muhammadi sallallahu alaihi wasallam presence is easy, but it is extremely difficult to attain walayat and guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam nature, of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam virtue, of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam possession, of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam abandonment and reliance of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In Mahakal Fakr, he describes, and I quote, sign of a person who attains haduri in the convention of exalted Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is that his bad traits turn into good traits. Ladies and gentlemen, the next question arises, how one can attain manifestation to attain such traits and divine color? The answer is provided by the great Muslim philosopher of 20th century, Allama Muhammad Iqbal. ये फैज़ान नज़र था कि मकतब की करामत थी, सिखाए किसने इस्माइल को आदाब फ़र्ज़ंदी. Was it grace of glance or miracle of institution who taught Ismail filial devotion? This grace is bestowed with the gaze of perfect Murshid, the spiritual master, the purification of innermost, remembrance of Allah Almighty and spiritual practices that leads one to witness the spiritual manifestation from the innermost, hence enabling one to get synchronized with divine attributes and morals of exalted Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Hadrat Sultan Bahoo rahmatullah alayhi has propagated moral ethics in the literature. The prime emphasis has been to rein in the nafs amara, the base self, which is the root cause of all evils and negative energies and the biggest hurdle in unlocking the door of objective reality is in Punjabi abiyat. Surat nafs amara di koi kutta kullur kala hu. The feature of nafs amara is dog puppy that is black hu. He barks and makes noise, drinks blood and demands a delicious food in stack hu. He sits in the left side comfortably next to heart hu. This ill-fated is big tyrant Hadrat Bahoo. Allah will keep us apart hu. Mevlana says, do not leave alive the dog of your mind. It has always been enemy of your spirit. Controlling one base self is important because dog never changes its character and it will not be able to relinquish arrogance. Arrogance is worst thing one can have and it sees others lower than oneself. This arrogance solidifies the heart and no light can enter or leave the heart. Nafs, base self, can only be under control by the gaze of perfect Murshid. He further indicates how nafs is controlled. His main emphasis have been in his entire literature, which is upon contemplation of Ismi Allah Zat, the personal name of Allah Almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, I would like to say that the ethical and moral decline in the modern societies is the result of abandonment of spiritual practices and which were practiced and preached by the great Sufi scholars. As per teaching of Hadrat Sultan Bahoo and Mevlana Rumi, we have to strengthen our spiritual foundation which can result in strong moral character. With these words, I would like to thank the organizers once again. Thank you very much.